Hey everyone, welcome to the LIBERcast episode 131. Um, Before we're starting, I want to thank everyone for joining in the live show and afterward. Thank you so much for sharing your time and taking time for listeners to what I have to say. And it's thank you for being the pillars of the LIBERcast. And I have the chance of having a great guest tonight. She's actually come back for, I think, the third or fourth time. But just before we're getting that, I'm gonna do my usual shout out to the One Great Work Network for sure. OneGreatWorkNetwork.com. It's totally free. You go there and you can access all this incredible information about with there's over 75 content creators and counting. So the work is incredible. I'm thinking about the Will Kellers and Marja's work, and then Corey and Doreen, and there's plenty. Mark Pasio's, all Mark Pasio's stuff is connected there. It's an incredible, easy, free way to learn incredible things with these incredible content creators. Awesome work. So go there and go discover the mysteries and having answers for real. Here we go. Thank you, Marja, to be here with me tonight. I
You're
appreciate
so
it. I know I
welcome,
told
Fred.
you before the show, but I your work is gold for the people who can really understand the deep dive that you're getting into the information, and the this model of willpower is what we need. We discussed about it before we
Yes.
started it, and just before we're getting this, I know you have, we know an hour and a half, it's never enough. um but I please, for the people who don't know you, just quickly go over who you are and where we can get your work.
Okay. So my website is LoveTruth&Beauty, AND Beauty.com. My name is Marja West, and I am going into my 38th year of being a trauma-based mind control deactivator and dearmorer. And my specialty for many years, my focus for many years was hand-holding survivors of trauma-based mind control, from ritualized abuse, satanic ritual abuse, rape camps, pedophilia, the whole nine yards, the most egregious of human behavior. And much of this work I actually funded and paid for myself, going into very intense areas all over the world where that kind of work was much needed. Um, I am the caretaker of this work as of 1987. When I was 27 years old, I had a series of dreams over a 9-month course, which was actually a handbook of integrating ancient modalities and putting them together as a whole arena to deactivate trauma for real. And there's a reason why each one of these modalities was separated from one another. So the chakras were separated from the auric field separated from the meridians separated from our thoughts, from our emotions, from our actions. And by integrating all of that, there is this cohesive methodology, modality, if you will, an energy healing technology accessible to each and every one of us. You don't need some kind of special degree to do it. It's actually learnable. It's very, very practical. It's very, very accessible. So that is what I'm doing. I'm still doing it. I also have a YouTube channel also called Love, Truth, and Beauty. And I just talk about a lot of uncomfortable things that most people don't want to talk about, or they think it's a conspiracy, or they think because I'm associated with Mark Passio that I'm some crazy psycho, whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. And over the years, I've learned to grow a very, very thick skin. So Fred and I have had numerous conversations about the infighting within the truth and freedom communities, within the occult communities, the pagan communities, the women's groups, you name it. You name it. There's just so much distortion that get us to fight each other. And guess what, kids? The powers that want to be, that's what I call them, they win. They win every time we are at each other and getting into some pissing match about whose truth is truer than whose. I mean, we got to stop it. We just got to stop it, and get to the shadow work. Get to the shadow work that is going to unhinge, unshackle all of us, because we're being controlled in our minds, we're being controlled in our emotions, and also in our bodies. And we need that heart, mind, body, soul coordination to really win this war for our consciousness that they have launched upon humanity for millennia. This is nothing new. And, we just have a lot more technology in the whole scheme of things to create, as the Greeks would say, a lot of fasarias. I would call them fuckarias, because we get all confused and distracted because of all the distortions. That what do? We default to name calling, to putting each other down, to throwing each other under the bus, to criticize, to go to war with one another, when we really need to agree to disagree on things and get the fundamentals out and about and really start getting out there. And I'm not talking about talking to echo chambers where you're going to be speaking in front of friendly people. I mean, going out into your communities, grassroots, not just online, but create public forums where you get to meet your community and you get to speak from your truth, from the heart. The first eye is the heart. Okay, we need to speak from the heart. We need to speak from truth. And we need to open our intuition and our third eye to ignite the possibilities of living in this universe without any of this craziness, without any of the mind control, because it is very, very possible. And I've just been on my soapbox just now. I realized, yikes. So that's what we need to do. And we're all in this together. It's not going to just take me. It's going to take every one of us. So Fred's doing his work. I'm doing my work. You need to be doing your work too. Whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's writing, whether it's blogging, right?
Yeah. So there's things that must be understood in order to have what we want.
Yes.
Sadly, unfortunately, most people are ignoring this knowledge. And it's not because you don't have access to this information. It's because people are fucking ignorant people. And this is the base of what we call evil.
Yes.
Ignorance is the root of all evil. So just starting on that, like I mentioned in another one of my podcasts, we cannot, as communities who are claiming fighting for freedom, we cannot even get all in one on just one question, on one aspect, and it's freedom. The freedom communities cannot get together and have a consensus and determining what freedom means. and it's happening in every communities. And I'm talking about the freedom communities, but essentially it's way worse in the spiritual communities, and it's way worse where we are at with Marja and me. The people that we know, we think that they know, but they don't know. That's an important point there. So
Yes.
there's
Yes.
the basic understanding, and I like it how you phrased it, because this is on the point. This is, you put your finger right on it. It's a kindergarten of
Yes.
opportunist people and greedy people.
Hmm. Yeah.
So there's, and what is worse than that, it's that we're not, they're not our worst enemy. We are our worst enemy
Yeah. And they're banking
when
on
we
that. The
are
powers that want to
doing,
be are banking on that.
yeah, incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. And I get very angry sometimes. I cannot fucking stand that, because I respect the work. I respect the work, and I respect this information. So I can be wrong. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has
Yes.
stopped growing up. We
Yes.
can still make mistakes and do and say things that are maybe not in accord with other people, but we're still human.
Yes. Yes.
This is, and it's an important point. You want to add on that?
Well, and we have the power to, as we evolve, to change our minds and admit that we were wrong, that we misspoke, that we made a mistake. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of the sort of fears that people have is that they're going to look foolish, and they're not willing to say, I don't know. I don't know. I say it a lot. I don't know. You know, I don't know. And it's okay to say that, because when you're
Mhm.
willing to make amends, you're willing to admit that you're wrong, you're willing to admit you don't know the answer, there's something magical that happens. There's an opening, an allowing for information to come in. You attract the answers. And that is important. And what I see that's happening is that people are more offended by, say, my delivery, your delivery, Mark's delivery, whomever's delivery, than the actual evil that has been running the shit shows for millennia. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off. You want to hear it. And I've heard, Mark, you want to hear it all flowery, that it's somehow, if I just lower my voice or I talk really sexy, that you're not going to get it. Fuck you. Really, fuck off already. That is not going to get us anywhere. And it just makes me insane. So when I hear Mark going off the way he's been going off lately, I'm just like going, I get it. I totally get it. I may not like it. I may not like it either, but you know what? I don't blame him. And sometimes I go there. And, I've gone there, and I've gotten booed off stage. I've had shit thrown at me. I'm banned from Canada. I can't go into Canada. My videos are not allowed in Canada. It's just ridiculous. It's funny, every time I post a video, my Canadian contingency not available in Canada. So Canada, it just, I get it. But this is the risk that you take when you talk about freedom. Freedom has a cost to it. It's not free. Okay. You're going to have to give up your notions. You're going to have to give up your comfort. You might have to give up your family. You might have to give up your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your children, especially if they're turning you in because you're a little off your rocker as far as they're concerned, and they would like you to be normal. I know these stories. I hear these stories all the time of these rifts because the consciousness within a certain configuration, a household, is not compatible. And then you don't have the tools to do the shadow work, to do the shadow dancing with these members of your family that would love to turn you in or would love to have your head on a platter, you know? So it's got costs, you know? You're not going to get off, you know, all glammed up. It's not going to happen. There's some serious consequences to taking a stand when it comes to morality, because we have a very morally relativistic society, particularly in Western culture, where, you know, anything goes as long as it's all about me, and me, respectively, because the narcissism, sociopathy, and the psychopathy that is being pushed and promulgated and co-created through social media and technology, it's just like off the charts, you know. And I don't really care what the psychological experts say that, you know, those numbers aren't all that much. Oh, please stop. It is.
It's bad. This
It
is
is
what it
very
is.
bad.
I happen to be looking into the red pill movement and MGTOW, and
Yeah,
I mean, we're so broken,
we are
so
broken.
fucking broken. We cannot fucking do a step forward. We cannot make it. We're falling right
Yes.
on our faces.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The basic fundamental knowledge are totally put away.
Yes. Yes.
They extracted consciousness from people. These people have no souls.
Yes.
They're the soulless people. These
Yeah.
people, you cannot get them back. It's impossible. There's people who actually like with all their body and all their souls their slavery. They will
Mhm.
fight to keep it going. And
Yeah.
this is a harsh reality that people need to understand. There's people who are gonna, like you mentioned it, they're gonna throw you under the bus at the
Yeah.
first attempt, at the first problem. And it's not gonna be a stranger, it's gonna be a family member, it's gonna be a
Yes.
friend, it's not and the schism is so deep in the consciousness of the aggregate of the masses that
Yes.
it when you truly understand it, it's fucking scary
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much people are out of there, you know.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned it, and another one, it's like we're trying to resurrect a 3 days corpse.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
there's someone. There's 3 days. He's dead. He's fucking rotting, and I try to give him back his life. I try to restart his heart. It's that fucking delusional.
Yeah.
I'm not like pretending that I'm gonna have 1,000 people. If I have 5 of them, I'm gonna be fucking happy with it. You know, and this having this thought and having to confront it, and we're spiritually at the front line. This is
Hmm.
where we are. We're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
reversing this fucking perversion of the
Yes.
spiritual movements and the spiritual
Exactly.
yeah.
Complete, utter inversions. When you think about it, you think about the red pill movement. Now, I was just on a podcast earlier with Derek Bartolocelli, Zeralath, and with Tom Altman, who is the real writer of the screenplay that created the Matrix movies, which is not even accurate. That blue pill was actually the good pill, because the red pill, kids, has been inverted. It's inverted to appear to mean freedom. No, it is the blood of children. And I have to say, over the decades, since those Matrix movies have come out, every red pill movement I've ever been in has been an entire shit show of bullshit, of psychos high on power, telling the masses and everybody that's under them how shit works. And they're all a bunch of fucking liars. And just like any other group, these communities turned into totalitarian shit shows of nothing but agreement. And if you don't agree with everything that they say, then you're out. Okay, well, I'm out. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I dodged bullets when it came to that shit because the inversion is so deep and pop culture has hijacked, along with Hollywood, along with those cults, okay? And people just buy it because way too many of the normies are so influenced by pop culture and by Hollywood that if they do it a certain way and they get you, they have hijacked you and they are controlling your mind. This is how it continues, okay? It starts with the mind cage and the work that I do. That is the first trauma cage because once they infiltrate your mind and they can control the inspiration inflow into your seventh chakra, hijack your third eye, the realm of all possibilities and your imagination and completely block your intuition. And they can control the words that come out of your mouth or shove words down your throat or tell you what reality is, tell you who you are, and you consent. You're just gone. They've won. They've won your consciousness. Yep. You don't own your attention. You don't own your focus. And a lot of people get butthurt when I talk about this. I'm not mind controlled. Oh, really? Okay. Sure. You know, people don't question reality. They don't want to. Well, this is the reality that I like. Everybody's beautiful here. I want this reality. Okay, good for you. But there's a cost to it. So red pill kids has nothing to do with truth. It has to do with the blood of children. It's not to freedom. The colors blue and red. Red is a much lower frequency. Blue vibrates at a higher frequency, kids. And I know when I first saw the movies, I'm thinking, this is dumb. Like, doesn't anybody see? This is so obvious to me that it was an inversion and it was absolute bullshit. And this Tom Altman had his work stolen. It is common knowledge that his work was stolen.
This all Hollywood salad of a mess.
Yes.
This inversion has cost us the IQ of the population, actually. And when I'm talking about the IQ, it's not only the IQ of the intellectual aspect, the overburdened emotional aspect of the human. It's getting
that's the heart
shredded.
cage. That is the nonsense. Heart cage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Disconnects us from our first eye, the heart. It disconnects us from the truth of who and what we are. Love, spirit, consciousness. And when they can take our emotions and our triggers and turn them into weapons of mass destruction, in manipulating, in just ruining people's lives, allowing the ruin of humanity, allowing the love of money and power to rule over love and creativity and true connectedness and inspired vision, true inspiration. What's the next to go? The next to go is the kinds of actions that we take. The kinds of actions that we take are not going to be aligned with an alignment of heart, mind, and body, mind, heart, and body. Our actions are going to be based on lack. They're going to be based on the lust for power, the lust for money, and here we are.
And the lust for validation.
Yes, yes.
And not only the victimhood, but there's a lot of different conditions that it's accumulated together, over the other, and it makes a fucking horrifying soup of deceptions and schisms
Yeah.
all over the psyche of humans and kids and things like that. So we have the responsibility to educate ourselves and not going with the flow. We have to absolutely eradicate culture as it is. It is the program. This is where the magic happen.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
where the words that are told to people and all these ritual, because movies, because advertisement and entertainment are all the rituals. They're all spells, and
Yes.
this lack of knowledge and this there's this scarcity mind control that is very heavy on the people's shoulders, and it's very
Yes.
important that people understand this thing. There's the victimization aspect that it's not covered there too. I don't know if we have the time to do it, but there's like fucking hours of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I think that is a good topic because we are all subject to that. I mean, the whole bit of shadow work is to join the polarized opposites within us of light and dark. We all have it. You know, the devil isn't outside us. The devil is within us when we turn our backs on morality and we act in ways that are not right, that are absolutely immoral. And that kind of way of living, like I hear people say, and this is the typical thing in the Matrix, not the movies, but in the Matrix, in the world, in pop culture, the lesser of two evils. That is an excuse for fucked up behavior. And I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot from well-educated people. I hear it a lot from people who are street smart. I hear it a lot from people who aren't very smart. So that is a consensus reality, the lesser of two evils. It's not cool, people. Really, really not cool, because evil is evil is evil. And if you're participating, there's a culpability that it just seems like the people who really espouse to this and will sit there and just, it'll just come out of their mouths like it's nothing. I don't think they realize the consequences of that kind of spell casting, that kind of immorality, and making it an excuse to continue on with immoral behavior, immoral acts. I mean, it just makes me sick. And it doesn't seem to register. It doesn't seem to register how wrong the whole shebang is. And I feel helpless a lot of times because it seems like no amount of me talking to them, educating them, sending them here, there, and everywhere, having discussions it doesn't make a difference because, the mind cage is completely hijacked. Each one of those chakras have been infiltrated by false distortions of and hijacked of life force, basically. When you can't receive truth into your seventh chakra, that is the first input from spirit, because the powers that want to be have infiltrated that space and have filled your mind with all sorts of totalitarian nonsense, all sorts of hateful paradigms. We are in trouble, kids. And this is where the moral relativism really starts getting pervasive, because if you allow that in and you take it in, you drop it, where you actually see pictures of what it is to subjugate another human being and get them to bend to your will with immoral thoughts, immoral beliefs, and then you get them to spew it out so that they spread it around, and the downflow of mind control will go into the heart. It'll go into the power center. It'll go into sexuality. It'll go into the money centers. It'll go into manifestation. It will corrupt the entire human being. Mind, heart, and body. And the spirit is completely wiped out. And that's what's happening. That's part of what transhumanism is. The complete wipeout of our humanity, as if it's a good thing. We won't need our bodies. We'll be immortal. We're already immortal, idiots. Sorry.
There's actually a price to pay when it comes to spirituality, and it's care and time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And love.
Yes. Yes.
For yourself. For yourself. And the people who are listening to that, this is the first thing that we all should do first.
Yes.
Is caring about yourself and taking care of yourself and your three parts, brain, heart, and guts. And take care of that. And we shouldn't be there. If people really like freedom or spirituality or alchemy or things like that, I don't see it.
Yeah.
All I am seeing is people mimicking other people.
Yes.
This
There's
is the
a lot
quest
of that. For a price.
validation.
For a price, of course. It just fascinates me how, especially in a lot of healing camps, there all these quick studies. I can clear that trauma in like 30 seconds or half an hour or one hypnotherapy session or through Reiki. I mean, run, people. If anybody tells you that shit, you need to run. You need to run far, far away and, really just kind of like avoid that, because that is nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. Shadow work is painstaking work. It is not a one and done. You can do it on your own, but you better be careful that you're not being led astray by the entities that have already infiltrated your field. So I don't exactly recommend it. However, this is part of the care that we need to apply. You need to care enough about your life to clean up your thoughts, to clean up your beliefs, to notice the way you talk to yourself. Because if your self-talk is nothing but criticizing yourself or adulating yourself, whatever the spectrum is, I'd have to say that you're being tricked. and you're kidding yourself. Okay, and that's part of the mind control, is that we kid ourselves into thinking everything's okay. You know, as long as it looks good and smells good. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people who look and smell good, and their fucking behavior is fucked up. It's like they get away with all sorts of shit, and it's not good. It's not a good thing to look great on the outside, but on the inside, you're emotionally crippled. You are a psycho through and through in your cells, and you're okay with acting evil, with being evil. You think that's a cool thing. It's like, it's not my problem. I mean, I hear women say this shit to me all the time when they get over on a guy. They think it's okay. Well, after years of the patriarchy, I'm going to do this. It's like, what? Stop it. You know, and people wonder why things like the Manosphere and MGTOW exist. They're sick of bitches. I'm sick of bitches. You know, I'm sick of the malignant feminine. I'm sick of the malignant masculine. It's flip sides of the same stupid coin of divide and conquer, of men and women trying to get over on each other because of what? Because we can. I mean, that's how sick we are. That's how sick and messed up we are. Under the guise of feminism,
as such,
I know
the MGTOW and all of that is really, really, really retarded. We are at a point where you have people who are really believing inside of them that women or men are broken without coming back. These actually believing in this garbage. And I cannot fucking believe that they think they're intellectual people or illuminated, you know, or something like that. When you're fucking, you're not able to transcend your own fucking programs and your own
it's a lack
traumas
of
and all
shadow
this
work.
shit.
It is a lack of shadow work that these people are like, they're outing themselves. They're not going to do the shadow work. So we're just going to cut it off, and we're not going to get involved. And we're going to have our blow up dolls and jerk off to porn or whatever, or pay for it. That's what this is all about. And recently I was on a podcast, which I got kicked off of. Of course I did, because I was challenging the whole practice that a lot of young women are involved in, called hypergamy. So hypergamy is, if you want this, you're going to have to pay my bills. You're going to have to do this. And there's this one-upsmanship in searching for these men that they have to meet 100,000, 200, 300,000, multiple six figures in order to get all this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, yikes almighty. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here on this panel? Because I have no idea why I got invited, other than here I am. I'm the grandma. And I'm thinking, ladies, And I probably got out half a sentence, and that was it. I was off the call so fast because they realized that I'm not all about weaponized sexuality. I'm not all about giving the thumbs up to women using their beauty and their sexuality to be as malignant as fuck and get over on men because they can, and it's payback time. That is insane to me. But this is where we're at.
Absolute
and of course,
retardation.
What's one of the biggest divide and conquer devices between the masculine and feminine? Sex, marriage. There you go. Not that they go hand in hand, but you just pick one of those, and there's a whole infighting going on. And on Another way to look at it, though, the infighting, and I'm using transurfing and declaring advantage, is that this infighting is actually a kind of a twisted conversation in many ways. And these conversations actually need to happen. So why not get to brass tacks and talk about, and this is the sad part of it, is that the addiction to power, the addiction to money, the addiction to me, and me, the narcissist, sociopathic, psychopathic realm of the question, what is in it for me? And that is that selfishness that is pervasive in the matrix, in pop culture, in the normie, in woke culture, you know. And I mean, you can get the pronouns in there. You can get all of it in there. Transgenderism, transhumanism, it is all there. What is in it for me? Or what are you going to do for me? And I hear this from all generations. So boomers, I'm sorry, you guys are right there as well, okay? Because in my generation, there was just like, I mean, there's just so much contempt, so much contemptuous feelings that are still there in my generation of men and women, where, you know, so much fighting. And so, you know, it's like Gen X, the millennials, etc., Gen Z, it's a shit show. And when you don't have a good relationship with yourself, first and foremost, you're going to project all that stuff that you didn't work out in your shadow work, that you didn't work out examining the kinds of relationships that you have that are quite often based on the relationship your parents had with each other, or your caretakers had, or what you saw on the boob tube if you were raised in that manner where to put them in front of the TV. And you know, I mean, so many people did that. Well, those are going to be the basis of your relationships. Do they do any shadow work? I don't think so. But you have to be able to unpack all of that stuff and get real with yourself so that you can stop yourself when the automation starts getting activated. And that's what happens when the heart cage gets activated, is that we get into an emotional shitstorm where we're out of control. We're totally out of control. And you are just reacting to the emotional intensity that you have no control over. And it's a wild horse. It's out of control. You're not even along for the ride.
This is only one part of it, and I would like to ask people. You know, I've seen a few of them. So Sophie, Voluntarily Occultism, Serre Représentativité. J'ai mon chum Jim qui est là en arrière, Derek. Bienvenue, Derek. If you have questions, if you want to commentaries, I'm looking at it on Facebook and YouTube. So if you have question, just go on, and I can do it all the evening if I want to. But I want people to participate in the conversation if you want to. So here we go. My invitation is there. What is your? I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your definition of dark femininity?
Wow, that is a loaded question. So my definition of dark femininity is the feminine who has absorbed so much unconscious masculine energy, either through osmosis with her community or through unconscious sexual relations. And what happens is that energy is very substance. It's got substance. And for me, as a woman, and I tell women this all the time who work with me, we have two hearts. Our first eye, the heart, and our yonis, our vaginas. And if you have unconscious sex, you are taking on the unconscious energy of everybody that you have had sex with and everybody they've had sex with, okay? A lot of the dark feminine embodiments that I encounter are women, and they are good women. They are just overrun by all this negative energy that they have taken on unconsciously. And that has to be purged. And not only that, it's also handed down in utero through the first, second, and third trimester of pregnancy in your mother's womb. If she has not done her shadow work, whatever dramas that she has going on, you are going to absorb that. You're going to absorb that through the amniotic fluid that you are surrounded by. All right. So all of that comes into play, along with the totality of the energies regarding not just all your lineages, but the history of atrocities, human atrocities throughout human history. So that's the collective pain body of what it is to be human in a body. And the trouble with that is that it's very atavistic in nature. And pop culture knows what they're doing when they are triggering atavistic memories, is that all of a sudden you're going to be triggered by some image that you see on an advert or something. And it is specifically designed. I mean, you know, these mind controllers, they know exactly what they're doing to trigger a response, a reaction that is going to ignite your hatred for men, your hatred for women, your hatred for certain nationalities, certain races, your hatred for certain religions, your hatred for whatever, okay? So all of this is, in fact, the responsibility of us women. I hate to say it, ladies, but we are responsible. We are the gatekeepers to conscious presence on this planet. And how is that? We have to be really in charge and aware enough and care enough to care about the kinds of men that we allow in our bodies, let alone around our bodies. You know what I'm saying? And this has been completely hijacked because pop culture is pushing the hypersexuality of children, of the masses. And, you know, Mark has talked at great length about the malignant feminine. And the stuff that I'm touching upon is really the sort of bottom line that each one of us women in this day and age, we have to get right with it. We really do. And it takes tremendous responsibility. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to face what I call those crunchy morselettes. You know, was I promiscuous? Maybe I was. Okay, you know, I've done podcasts where there's a song by a techno group, a duo called Fantagram, calling all girls. We all got a little bit of hoe in us. I mean, I just love that song because it's true. Where do we sell ourselves out? If not for sex, for money, for our children, for survival, you know? And in the circles that I've been kind of navigating in and out of stealthily, I'm hearing these conversations of these young women who are wanting the richest, the baddest, the most attractive man to pay their bills, you know? And it's like this, I mean, it is just this parade of superficialness. And I feel really, really sorry and very saddened for these young women because they are parading themselves around as really a vessel for dick. Pardon my French, but I'm just going to say it because that is the bottom line. They want the biggest one. They want to get wrecked. I hear them talk about this, and it's like, where the fuck is this coming from? I have no idea. I didn't raise my stepdaughter that way. I know that much. I didn't raise my sons that way. But where is this coming from? It's coming from pop culture. And it's coming from the allowance of women for whatever reason, because they haven't done the shadow work. They haven't worked through their daddy issues, their mommy issues, their authoritarian issues, their self-hate issues, their appearance issues. And there it is in a nutshell. We're still looking outside ourselves to validate, to give ourselves worth. And that is an inside job. That's the bottom line. And we as women, it is our job to teach our children about self-worth, self-esteem. It's an inside job. It's not based on who you sleep with and how many you've slept with. But that is the shallowness.
Yeah. So there's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an aspect that I wanted to bring, and you were just about to talk about it, and that's motherhood.
Yes.
I think this part there is it's so perverted, it's so broken, it's so inverted, it's crazy. Common sense, it's not common anymore.
Yeah, no, it isn't common sense anymore. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a superpower to be a mother. And it has been hijacked to be this chore that only stupid women do. I've heard this, and I am stunned and appalled every time I hear it, that it just comes out, and our children, our pregnancies need to be aborted. They need to be, we can terminate up to the very last minute. What? What is that? It's sanctioned murder. That's what it is. It's immoral. It's disgusting. And so what pop culture has done is that it has made motherhood into a disease, that children, pregnancies, that they're parasitic. They're not even human. And I've heard new age bullshit talk about, well, the soul doesn't enter into the body until the first breath is taken. So it's okay. No, it's not okay. What is wrong with you? Yeah. I've had to sit through so many panels and listen to this fucked up shit. And I hold my tongue a lot of times because it's just, it won't do any good to go off. But this is the malignant feminine mindset where their heart, mind, body, souls have been so corrupted by the evil powers that want to be, by the mind controls, all of the devices that are being promulgated and pushed by pop culture, by woke Maoism, by the gynocracy, by all of that. They don't even question it. It's just the way it is,
The amount of resources and money it's no joke. Marja has this way of explaining things, and I want you people to open your ears tonight because it's very important. This is truth. It's not easy. We're never said it would be easy to listen to this kind of information because it's right on the point. You put the finger right on the wound, and and I wanted to talk about the MGTOW movement a little bit because you talked about women, and I have bad news, people. Men now have become women. And what it means is that we forgot with the time what was the root principle of what is the responsibility of being a man in this world. And sadly, we have people who are, and mostly men, will think that women are inherently evil or broken, and they want to have the traditional aspect of it and their behaviors and the thoughts and the moral relativism behind it, and this desire of being accepted, and this desire for validation, and this desire for nonsense materialist gain, and having the big car and the big muscle and all these garbage, unconstructive mind control push around the men. And I'm telling you, people, we don't have men anymore. We don't have men. We have a substitute for men, and it's terrifying. And look at the people who are in both sense. All women are broken, or all women are, they're all the same, and all these things. And we deserve better, and we should fucking make a career instead of making family. And it's coming from both sides. There, this is the cul-de-sac of retardation. This is where the retards are getting stuck,
Yeah.
and they're in the funnel, and this thing is fucking blocking, and people keep on pushing on it. It's fucking, I cannot fucking believe that people are absolutely doing it on YouTube and telling people right in their faces, oh, women cannot be healed, women are inherently broken. They cannot do anything by themselves. They need things and that. And I must say that this is not my experience. I have the chance of having 18 years of relationship with my beautiful wife. I have a family. I fought for it. I constructed. I cared about it. So I'm living proof of doing something that it's natural. This is pure relationship. This is pure love and care. Because what we have to do is we don't have to ask ourselves all these questions. Oh, what my identity, and what the people's gonna say when I'm fucking saying something in contrary to everyone. And oh, I don't want to fucking dress myself as it's all nonsense. It's all childish behaviors, and it's not constructive at all. At all, we're going backwards in this sense.
We are. That's beautiful, Fred. Thank you. Thank you for that, because we need more people who are mature, who are not stuck at age 4, 5, 6, 7, mature emotionally. And unfortunately, that is a lot of the men and women who are looking to be in a relationship. They are emotionally stunted. And when you're emotionally stunted, you haven't quite individuated from mommy and daddy. So you think everybody is mommy and daddy, and they're supposed to kowtow to all of your whims and not call you out. And, whether that's an alpha male, alpha female, beta female, there's another version of that. There's what we call the sigmas, I consider myself a Sigma. You're a Sigma. It is the alternative version of what it is to be in your true power and to be able to fluidly navigate the masculine and feminine energies within, because the masculine is not a man, the feminine isn't a woman. They are energies that have to do with action, that have to do with receptivity, that have to do with electricity and magnetism and all of that. And sometimes we're on, sometimes we're off. It is not, our energies, our divine creative energies are not stagnant, kids. Okay, they are fluid. Sometimes you're going to be on it, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you need to rest, sometimes you're on fire and ready to fight. Okay, so this is part of it, is that there seems to be this illusion of everything being one and done. Oh, I've already handled that. I hear people say that all the time. Oh, I handled that. I handled that trauma. Oh, really? Did you? Okay. Right. They don't even know what they're talking about.
This
so to have
we
role
have
models.
a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Sorry, we have a slight lag there, and I'm trying to time myself. So sorry about that. I
No,
don't want to
you're
interrupt
fine.
you.
You're fine.
But
We need
the
role models like you.
I'm not pretending to be better than the others. I just want my to break these cycles that we're stuck into, and this intergenerational mind control and influence,
Yes.
and we have absolutely have to break these cycles, because they are the roots of where we have, how we have all these schisms inside of us. And let me tell you, people, I don't think people like their children. I think the parents are tolerating their children. There's no love, there's no care. They're treated like objects, and it's frustrating. It angers me. I cannot fucking believe in 2024 that we still are fucking barbaric, retarded people. This is how I consider people. You're barbaric people. You're tribalists. These people are these motherfuckers pulling on your t-shirt when you're running into a marathon. They're the fucking retarded. Go on the short bus. These motherfuckers that are telling lies to everyone. They're the charlatans. They're everywhere. They're in every aspect. They're in the spiritual. They are in the occult movement. They are in the freedom movement. They are in the red pill movement. They're everywhere. These people are there just for you, people. They're ready to sell the fucking soul just to make money or fame.
Yeah.
E-fame, that we call that. Complete
Yes.
nonsense. It's very, very, very sad. I cannot. This is what we're talking about tonight. Is basic things. We just barely scratch the subject. This is only the basic things. There's so much stuff that we have to pound into the consciousness of people in order to people to take better decisions for themselves and for the people they're surround. It's incredible. I have to really, like talking to people like children. This is how I have to do it. It's
So
so
true.
pathetic. I I seriously, sister, I we need more of yous and me's outside, and I would like to take the time and asking and telling people to move your fucking ass and get
Yeah.
involved into the
Yeah.
work, and
Exactly. Bust a
because
move.
we need more people. We need more people who are getting that. They're getting in the shadow work. It doesn't matter if it's hard, we don't have time for that. We have to fight back. And what it means to fight back, it's to create other propaganda. We have to repeat as much as we can to
Yep,
invert
that's what I
that.
do.
You know,
Yeah. And it's good. It's
so
good to do it.
I had a question for you. Sorry. Um, go on, go on.
You have a question for
Yeah,
me,
the
Fred?
lag there is bad. Yeah, the lag is very bad. Um, I wanted to know what is, at your opinion, the first thing that people should do in order to start the great work? What would be your first principle, your first solution that needs to be done?
I think the first consideration is care, is that you actually care and give two shits about your life. And when I talk about your life, I'm talking about every aspect of your life. Your thoughts, are they really your thoughts? That's number one right there. Are they really your thoughts? Because a lot of the mind control is many people not even realizing that the thoughts that they think they're thinking don't even belong to them. They don't even know where the hell they came from. So care and monitor your thoughts. That would be one very important beginning. And I guarantee you're going to realize when you monitor your thoughts. I would set an egg timer, 15 minutes, and you're going to find out, whoa, dude, those aren't even my thoughts. Like, where do they come from? Okay. When it comes to emotions, the next time you feel triggered by something, follow its lead with a pen and paper and you write it down. You follow that trigger and ask it, where are you taking me? Where are we going? And write it down. Okay. Body-wise, I want you to practice sending your consciousness, your awareness to each of your little toes. I'm not kidding. And track it. Track your awareness to your left toe. Track your awareness to your right baby toe. Okay. And so I used to teach yoga, and I used to have my students do this and would look at me going, what is she doing? And it was surprising how people could not track their awareness to their baby toes, had no awareness. And over time, when you do that practice and you can move it to each one of your toes and back, and you can, switch them around, you'll be able to move your toes independently. You'll get better and better and better and better at it. Okay. So that is just my 2 cents for this evening as a primer to your awareness of what you're thinking, the triggers that happen, where are they taking you? Okay. What are they about? And tracking your awareness to certain parts of your body and to be able to track it and to feel the tracking of your awareness in terms of sensation in the physical body. Okay. And to be able to feel and control your thoughts in that tracking. It seems very, very weird for a lot of people, but it's really a good start, especially if you're not used to this kind of thing. If nobody's ever hey, put your awareness on your left little toe. Like what? What? Why? Just do it. You know? Yeah.
And I would like to add something. And in order to have this care, there's one critical thing that people should do is stop lying to themselves and
Ooh.
stop lying to other people.
Wow.
So there's an all path of regulating your thoughts, like you mentioned, and self-awareness. And the reaction is everything. When you get through the shadow work, you're gonna be able to intuitively control your thoughts. I'm able at this state of shadow working, of auto introspection, means that I'm actually doing shadow work in every part of the day, at every hours of the day. When I'm having a conversation with someone, I can do a pause inside my head and listening and understanding what the person said to me without having a premasticated answer, means that I
Mhm.
am control of the reaction that I held. This is the present moment awareness. We have to be conscious about the world that surrounds us and the world that it contains in yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, world, and
So good.
your thoughts are creating your actions, and this is where we have to put the importance, is education. We have
Mhm.
to absolutely make peace with these dark places. We have to move forward at unison, in unity.
Yes.
And in order to do that, people will have to have no chaos anymore in their own temple.
It's true.
They
So
This
true.
is an yeah. Without that, without this control, without this work, it's impossible to achieve that,
Yeah.
because of all the collaterals of mind control, and how much power and influence it still have. And it takes it we are they grab us by the balls, actually. And it's not a reason to not do anything. We have to
Mhm.
fight back, we have to do the work, we have to take our thoughts, emotion, and make good, moral, correct action in order
Yes.
to influence this behavior to other people.
Yeah.
How much work it is! It's fucking incredible.
It's it's
It's
a
like
lot of
climbing the
work.
fucking Everest.
Yes. And then falling backwards when you fuck up. And then having to like pick
Yeah.
yourself up. Hi, Rick. I want to add something to that. And these are all really fantastic primers. I think one of the most important things that we all need to do is to own our attention. You know, what is spiritual awakening but owning your attention? We have a center screen reality here. This is where we own our attention, okay? Because in the matrix world, there's the outer screen. That is the shit that we are witnessing outside of ourselves. And then there's the inner screen, which is often our thoughts, our incessant mind fuckery thoughts that are usually in reaction to what's going on out here. Okay. When you see yourself and you see reality and you wake the fuck up and exit the matrix, you enter into the zone that is in between the outer screen and the inner screen. In this awakened center screen, you have the ability to see what's going on outside of you. Notice what's triggering your ass inside your head and all of your little thoughts, and you don't lose consciousness because you're observing the entire thing and not identifying with anything on the outside or anything going on in your head. That is what it means to be awake. Okay? That's it. It's simple. And New Age bullshit and spirituality want to complicate things that we're supposed to be, see angels and trumpets are blaring and, oh my God, I'm awake. My life is perfect. Stop. Stop that nonsense. Just stop it. Don't fall for that shit. You know, it's simple. It's about your awareness and owning it. Because if you don't own your awareness, the matrix owns your awareness. The powers that want to be own your awareness. They can parade anything outside there that'll trigger you and get you going in here, and you're sound asleep again. It's that simple.
Yep.
So being awake, spiritually awake, and owning your attention, it ain't a one-off, one and done thing. You are going to be constantly waking up, seeing yourself, seeing reality, and getting back into your center screen again and again and again and again and again and again. And that's it, kids. It's not glamorous. You know, it isn't glamorous. And you don't got to pay for it. It's free.
You have to force an ad block into your own brain to
Yes.
stop the fucking psychic noise and
Yes.
your false thoughts and things like that. So there, just that it's fucking work. Just right there, just to stop the flow of useless information and what the people think and all the energies and that we're sharing together in this world, because we're still talking about the invisible. We're still talking about the meta. It's not something that we have only what it's on the screen. It's only the cause and effect. This is a reflection of this projection that we have into the world. And we have to learn how to learn again.
Yes.
We learn it wrong. We didn't learn the good things. I had to be educated by strangers in order to have this. People that I know them because I've seen them. I look at their work, but they're strangers, and these people taught me great things. I'm here because I stand on the shoulders of the giants. I have utmost respect for the magi's of the modern world. I see them. I don't see all of them because I don't have enough time to just watch everything, but I can see them. I know they're there, and it's our responsibility to take the stick when it's gonna be the time to do it. We have to be smarter. We have to be stronger, and there's no other way than joining up together and working on the same page and working as one. And when I'm talking about working as one, it's that working hand in hand with the same intention, the same desire, and this desire would be freedom and love and care. This is our true religion, love and care. This is where we have to put our energy in and put aside all these fucking ridiculous, useless, worthless ideologies that lead us nowhere but this fucking hellhole we dig for ourselves. And the only fact that we have to get out, just fucking get out of this fucking hole we dig for ourselves. It's gonna be hard work, people. We're not even there. We're still at the fucking larvae state. We're not even close to be a butterfly and flying by ourselves, metaphorically. So if you have something, Maria, to a last word, a last thoughts for everyone who are there, and then we're gonna close after that. And I, before you're doing that, I just want to say thank you so much, sister, for being there tonight and being with me and sharing your precious time with us tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Fred. You know, I love your work. I love your courage and your tenacity and your persistence and your passion, your care. You know, we need more people like you to be doing this work and to be really busting a move and reminding everybody, you know, we're in similar situations, each one of us. You know, I'm not special. I got my shit going on. I've got my triggers. Shit pisses me off. I've got, you know, things that happen in my life that are like, whoa, dude, curveball. But all in all, my last parting words is really about noticing how you talk to yourself. Are you kind to yourself? Are you criticizing yourself? Are you putting yourself down? Are you just bitching at yourself, nagging at yourself? Stop, okay? You have to declare, I am divine love to yourself. That really needs to be your I aming on a regular basis to change your self-talk. Because when you change your self-talk, what are you doing? You're actually changing your thoughts. Remember, the universe is mental. The all is mind, okay? It's an inside job. You don't like what's going on out here? You got to change how you think, how you talk to yourself, okay? We got the law of mentalism, the law of correspondence, from within, so without. So start referring to yourself lovingly and very kindly with immense respect and care. Okay? That's what I leave. Thank you, Fred, so much for having me. Really appreciate you. And thank you all for being here with us.
Yeah, yeah, I have beautiful message. You know, the usual people. Thank you so much, people. Sophie Kriprick was there. Derek. I've seen Rael, but not Rael. God damn it! I fucked up his name. Sael représentativité. Désolé, mon ami. And the podcast is an open podcast, so it means that I'm having people who want to do the work and they want to share their wisdom with other people. Then I encourage you to contact me via Facebook. You know, the name, my name is just there. You know, take that. I'm right there on Facebook. The group from the LIBERcast is there, but I'm on YouTube, Odyssey, and the live right now. I'm looking on doing it on Telegram very soon. And people, we get involved, do something. I don't see enough people responding to that, so move your fucking ass and do something. This is simple. You don't have to do podcasts like us. You can do something else if you want to. You know, I know a lot of them who are doing different things and all creatives, artistic approach to it. And the important thing is to get to the action. It's doing something. Doing something means that you have to move your ass and do the cleaning of your own temple. That is what it means. So take care, people, and thank you so much again for joining us. 131 episode already. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's going so
Good
fast.
job.
So, well, I don't have your numbers, you know, because you got fucking thousands of them. But
No.
it's gonna be so thank you everyone. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.